My goodness. The last time WWE was in Lyon, France. They had one hell of a show, man. Probably the best crowd all year last year. We got more of the same this evening. A great crowd. They basically saved the show. SmackDown was not as boring as it was last week. I actually somewhat enjoyed tonight's SmackDown. I guess it's the power of that Lyon, France crowd, huh? Sami Zayn wins the United States Championship. What is next for Sami Zayn? I don't know, but he's one step closer to becoming a Grand Slam champion in WWE. Melo don't Miz. I think WWE messed up, man. They wrestled the Street Profits. Number one contender on the line. Melo ain't going to Paris. And John Cena once again cooks Logan Paul on the go-home episode before Clash in Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the beer garden, man. It's a cool, crisp 66 degrees in New York City. But we're still drinking them ice cold tonight because when I get to the beer garden, I want to know on this Friday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for August 29th. I don't know where the summer's going. 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Friday evening, wherever you may be. Friday Night SmackDown from Lyon, France tonight. Great crowd. Very, very energetic crowd tonight. Singing along, chanting along. Basically, if you were in the ring, they were into you for sure. It doesn't matter how boring or how uneventful some of the segments were on this show tonight. They chanted to their heart's content, and they sang and had a good time over the course of the last 2 hours. All in all, I enjoyed this show more than I did last week's show from Dublin, which I did watch, though I wasn't live last week. I did catch up with it. I didn't really enjoy last week's show outside of the Becky Lynch opening promo and the John Cena and Logan Paul face-to-face last week. This week, there was a lot more going on. And it was a nice little appetizer before we get to Clash in Paris on Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. There really isn't anything major as far as story on Friday Night SmackDown, which is probably their Achilles heel. It is a major problem. There needs to be a centralized story. There needs to be a story. There needs to be characters that this show revolves around. Right now, they don't have that. Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion. He is not even that guy. I don't know when he's coming back. I'm assuming he'll be back on the road to WrestlePalooza. But even when he is on the show, it still doesn't feel like he is the most important thing on the show. There really isn't a major storyline, so I don't really have any major talking points. See, one of the best things about what I do and where the most fun comes from is when story happens on television and we get to talk about the story. How the story came off, how the story was presented, how the characters came off and were presented on television, where the story goes into next week. WWE is so middle of the road that I don't even have anything positively or negatively to say about any of the stories. They either aren't happening, and if they are, they're not exciting whatsoever. And if you miss a week or 2 or 3, you're not going to miss a fucking thing because nothing really was progressed. Nothing is overly bad. Nothing is really good either. It's so incredibly middle of the road. It's like the old senior citizen at the nursing home who wants his plain vanilla ice cream with nothing on it. It's basically what it is. Even though we all know this show is better when there's vanilla ice cream served and there's some sort of toppings, maybe 2 or 3 extra toppings. How about some hot fudge and a little cherry on top? I don't want to make you guys hungry, but it's basically what SmackDown is. Boring, plain vanilla ice cream. I'm not even talking about Breyer's ice cream or Turkey Hill ice cream or Tillamook ice cream. How many of you guys know about Tillamook ice cream? Blue Bunny ice cream. Friendly's ice cream. Ben & Jerry's ice cream. They are so vanilla that there's just really nothing to get excited about. That's the problem. That is the problem. The biggest thing that happened on tonight's show was that Sami Zayn won the United States Championship. Fantastic. Sami Zayn is a former WWE Tag Team Champion. Sami Zayn is a former WWE Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn is now a United States Champion. He is one championship away from winning a Grand Slam for his resume, or becoming a Grand Slam champion and putting that on his resume. I don't know where to even get excited about it because the United States Championship has been treated like such an afterthought, it really doesn't even fucking matter. And stop with the Sami Zayn hate. It's forced. Fuck off. I don't know where all this forced narrative on hating Sami Zayn is coming from. You can cut that shit out and leave that shit at the fucking door. There's nobody that hates Sami Zayn legitimately. Nobody. It's all fake and it's all forced. There are bigger things to worry about when it comes to pro wrestling, and there's other things that we should be hating a lot more than Sami fucking Zayn. Okay? He won the United States Championship. He beat Solo Sikoa, who basically he's been feuding for the better part of 3 fucking years. I don't want to see it ever again. Now, the rumor is that we're going to be moving on from this. The rumor is the Wyatt Six are going to be feuding with the MFTs. I'm not sure how many of you are excited by that news. I know I'm not. But at least it gets the MFTs, A, a fresh opponent, and B, it moves Sami Zayn the fuck on from this bloodline vortex. He won the United States Championship. It was a great moment. It was a good call to happen in Lyon, France. No more, no less. Where does he go from here? Where does Sami Zayn go from here? Who is on that roster that could ultimately challenge for the United States Championship? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Carmelo Hayes would have been that type of guy, but Carmelo Hayes is stuck in a fucking tag team with The Miz, which I'll talk about in a little bit. There's nobody else that's really jumping off the page. Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, Aleister Black. Maybe we go the Aleister Black route. I think that would be fantastic. It would give Sami Zayn somebody new to work with. It would give Aleister Black someone to work with that is going to generate emotion. Something that he's been sorely missing since returning to the WWE. Or maybe it's an NXT call-up like Ethan Page, who apparently is in the rumor mill. Supposedly, WWE is very happy with the pairing that we see on NXT with Chelsea Green and Ethan Page. Maybe he could show up on Friday Night SmackDown and be that great heel for a babyface United States champion in Sami Zayn. We don't know. We'll see how that all kind of progresses. But nobody's really jumping off the page as far as a clear challenger for the United States champion. We got a couple of baby faces in the mix. Like I said, Fatu, Damian Priest. Not many on the heel side, though. We'll see what happens. But Sami Zayn is the new United States champion. Again, really nothing to get overly excited about. It was just a moment that they pulled the trigger on in Lyon, France, because they knew that they would get a reaction. I don't think anybody had it on their bingo card for me to be sitting here, you to be watching me sitting here, and then me asking you guys, how do you feel about Melo Don't Miz? I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I quite like it. It may be the best fucking thing on the entire show. I'm not even lying when I say that. I'm not even fucking bullshitting you. They may be the best thing on the fucking show because it's such a simple story to follow, and it's actually something that's been progressing week by week. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be some overly fucking drawn-out Academy Award-winning fucking cinema, though I love that. The show desperately needs that. But man, if we had 3 or 4 other little things going on like Melo Don't Miz and the simple story that is Melo Don't Miz, this show would be a lot better off than what we are getting right now. They've been the best thing on the show for the better part of a month. And I mean that. For some reason, the tag team is actually working out quite well. They're gelling. They work really good. The crowd is into them. Somehow The Miz is over. He's more over than Carmelo Hayes is. You would think it would be the other way around. You'd think the fans would want to see the young kid get more opportunities, but here they are cheering for the fucking Miz in 2025. Nobody ever said pro wrestling fans were a bright bunch. Though I'm not going to disrespect the Miz. most of everything he's given, he usually makes work anyway. He is definitely a Hall of Famer, first ballot, no question about it. I could see why they paired him up with The Miz, Melo. I don't know why they abandoned it for a little bit. I guess Miz had to do American Gladiators. That's the only thing I could really come up with. But that's not an excuse to keep Carmelo Hayes off of television for 2 fucking months while The Miz was hosting American Gladiators. I guess it made us miss him and want him more, Melo. They have wins over Fraxium. They have wins over Motor City Machine Guns. Tonight they got the Street Profits. I genuinely think WWE dropped the ball on Melo Don't Miz tonight. Supposedly, they were in a number 1 contenders match with the Street Profits, and the winner of this tag team match tonight goes on to Clash in Paris on Sunday and wrestles the Wyatts at the PLE. I genuinely think that WWE missed by not having Melo Don't Miz at the PLE. Now we're stuck with a Wyatts versus Street Profits match, and quite honestly, I don't give a shit. They are the best act on SmackDown right now, not named John Cena or Drew McIntyre. And the story is simple. Melo believes in The Miz taking him to the next level. Meanwhile, The Miz is simply using Melo to get where he used to be. And Melo don't see it yet. He kind of does, but he don't, because he's blinded by the veteran presence. He's blinded by Miz gaslighting him. And he's blinded by championship gold. He believes The Miz is going to take him to championship gold. It's a simple fucking story to follow, and it's a simple fucking story to tell. I don't know why that they gave the Profits the win tonight, when I definitely figured, and a lot of people figured, that The Miz coming face-to-face again with the Wyatts is where they were going to go. But the way the match ended, it may seem like Melo realizes that Miz failed him and may end up on his own anyway. John Cena and Logan Paul had a face-to-face that opened the show tonight. Excellent stuff, as always. Makes you think what we would have gotten if John Cena was a babyface all year instead of being a heel for the first 6 months. We'll go over that and anything else that happened on the show tonight, which basically the top 2 talking points here is basically the entire show. Thank you guys for joining me. I feel like it's going to be a quick stream. I feel like it is going to be in and out tonight on a Friday night, which is partially the reason why I took Friday night last week off, because apparently Friday is just a dead night and nobody gives a shit. But the show sucks, so I'm not really surprised. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. It is your Friday, August 29th, 2025. I'll tell you what, though. This August is shaping up to be, if not the best, the second best August that we've ever had. So, shout out to you guys. Content up on the channel, man. We've been uploading extras pretty regularly. I'm going to try and keep up on that. Today we uploaded a video. Report went out by Fightful Select about Vince McMahon's 80th birthday, man. The absolute filth and degenerates in the comment section of that video, man. I think I benched more people in my own comment section than I have on Twitter in the last month, just by this video alone. So if you guys want to go check that out, a little deep dive into Vince McMahon's 80th birthday, how it all came about, who was there. Some fun stuff there, man. Go check it out. I still make it some good discussion, so don't worry. On top of that, we got the Jack Swagger story. He buried Tony Khan this week. And everything else that you might have missed. Go and check it out. Extra content up on the channel. We were live on Monday. We were live on Tuesday for Tuesday Night Titans. Up towards 50,000 views on episode 109. Thank you guys very much. Me and Jason appreciate all the support on Tuesday nights, man. The best two-man show in the entire community. And I swear to God, man, there's nobody even close. Yes, Jason only went 55 minutes tonight. Yeah. You know, I get a gauge. I don't even have to watch SmackDown, man. I get a gauge for what I'm expecting just by the amount of time he puts into his live stream. So when I looked and saw he went 55 minutes, I'm like, gee, man, I'm in for a long fucking night, huh? Shout out to Jason, man. We love him. Wednesday, we were live for the AEW Dynamite post. Once again, I want to apologize for Jesse's behavior on Wednesday, man. I did talk to him. I don't appreciate all the hate-filled comments in the comment section on Wednesday's stream. Jesse's going through a little bit of a situation at home. He's obviously upset about his YouTube channel getting benched. We talked it out. I gave him some advice. He told me what was going on at home. Everything's going to be all right. Things have a way of working themselves out. Though I will admit, I did feel uncomfortable for the first 5 to 7 minutes of that show because I rely on him to bounce stuff off of. And basically, I was throwing fucking blanks or shooting blanks on Wednesday. And I had no idea that that type of attitude was coming at me. But everything has been discussed. Everything's been talked about. We'll come back, recharged, refreshed on Wednesday for next week's AEW Dynamite. Still, the show went off and we had some really good discussion. And we approached all of the major topics that I wanted to on Wednesday. So if you guys want to go check that out, please go and check that out. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up. It's going to be a slow night, man. I'm going to give you guys a small goal. 750 likes is the goal tonight. So if you're in the live stream chat, please hit that thumbs up. And super chats are open. Make sure you got them on in. They are the best way to support what I do here right on the live streams. And tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you guys got to pay is $5 in shipping and handling. SmackDown, we start off with John Cena. John Cena and Logan Paul. A black Mercedes arrives and Logan Paul steps out of it. He enters the arena. His music starts playing. He walks down to ringside. Huge boos for Logan Paul in Lyon, France. He said that John Cena is the real parasite, and it seems that people here seem to think so too. He insulted the crowd for some cheap heat. He said he'd stick to English because he was American instead of speaking French. He calls himself not a parasite, but a disruptor. Crowd is chanting, "Shut the fuck up." I know this because I saw the clip on social media, and it was bleeped out here for the American version of SmackDown. I did see the clip, which was airing on Netflix internationally, and they kind of do a terrible job of bleeping it out, so you kind of get it bleeding through for the first couple of chants, and then they finally get on track and censor it. But they were chanting "shut the fuck up," which is a appropriate chant for someone like Logan Paul, a heel like Logan Paul. He says he made TKO $6.6 billion in 6 seconds, and he put WWE on Netflix and ESPN, and the WWE is becoming the WWE, he says. He says Cena is the one that still represents the old, institutionalized version of WWE, and then he starts insulting the crowd, speaking their native language. He says he's an athletic phenom, and he's going to push Cena to his very limits. He calls Cena an imposter, and he starts calling Cena an imposter in French. He says wrestling is changing, and he is wrestling, and if you don't go with the change, you are going to get left behind. Cena comes out. He arrives. Big pop. Crowd loves John Cena. Loves John Cena. Crowd starts singing along with the lyrics. So Cena gets into the ring. He gets his full introduction by Mark Nash. He calls Logan Paul stupid and says he cannot do it on his own and that they need the fans. who he says hold the keys to if Logan Paul can join the family and have matches over the next 25 years. Cena says that Logan Paul claims he wants to raise the business to new levels, but does not put any effort into trying to understand what it is they actually do here in WWE. Cena then calls himself the original disruptor and said he's been knocking people out with brass knuckles for 20 years, or since 20 years ago. But he said word life. He's been doing this since his word life days. Cena says Paul's influence is not what it used to be. And then he starts making fun of Logan Paul, saying that he just saw a top 25 of the top 25 influencers in the world today. Cena says he saw that list yesterday. He says Logan Paul wasn't even on the list, but his friends were. Cena says that when Logan makes the front pages of the news now, it's for the wrong reasons, and that Logan uses WWE to save his own ass. He says the fans don't fear change. They see through Paul. Then the fans in Lyon start chanting, he's an asshole. That much I understood. Cena starts speaking French. Logan Paul then replies to Cena, also speaking French. Cena then says he will show Logan Paul what respect in our family means as he leaves the ring. He says respect means that people understand if you are mean to them, that you are just having a bad day. Then he apologized to some kid in the crowd for having a bad day in the past. I'm not sure if you guys picked up on who that kid was. That was the very kid when John Cena first turned heel at the Elimination Chamber, and we waited 3 weeks for John Cena to cut his first heel promo, and it was about the fans. It's about the fans, and it's the fans' fault that the fans abused him for 20 years and that the fans have been asking for this John Cena. And he threw it back in their face. If you guys remember, I don't know what the exact city was. It might have been Belgium. It might have been Amsterdam, one of those cities that John Cena first appeared in the European tour following the Elimination Chamber. There was this kid that was photographed wearing signature John Cena merch that had this sad look on his face because John Cena was putting down the fans in those first 3 promos. That was the kid that was photographed. That was the kid that they fixated on. That was the kid that went viral on social media and was one of the very first victims of this John Cena heel run in 2025. It was that kid. That was the same kid. Now, I don't know if he was just there by happenstance or if he was an invited guest by WWE. I don't know. But the simple fact of the matter that John Cena noticed that he was in the crowd, went over to him and apologized in this now babyface run for what he said back in March. That's a great fucking moment right there, bro. That was the kid. I don't know how many of you guys picked up on it. Brussels. Yes, it was in Belgium. Yes. Brussels. That was the kid. He was wearing that maroon shirt. And you just saw his sadness all over his face. Like, what did I do, man? All I've done is ever support you. The kid obviously was trying to get a picture and a photograph and a video of Cena. Cena whispered something in his ear. Logan Paul made fun of the segment while Cena tells him he has 24 hours to whip himself into shape. Otherwise, he won't be ruining wrestling, but wrestling would be ruining Logan Paul. This was a great promo. John Cena is doing a lot of the lifting here. Not to say that Logan Paul has been bad. Logan Paul has played his role perfectly. All he needs to do is go out there and generate heat. The more heat he generates, the better John Cena is going to look. John Cena has definitely carried the brunt of the load here, which I have no problem with at all. They put more effort into this match over the last 2 weeks than they have put into his match with Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania. Genuinely. The build for this match has been better than the build between John Cena and Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania. I don't know why that is. It's fucking sad to even think about. But that's what is happening here with Logan Paul and John Cena. I did not give a shit when the match was first announced 2 weeks ago. Cody Rhodes teamed with John Cena. His partner, Logan Paul, he teamed with Drew McIntyre. They went, what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes on TV, tag team match, basically set up the next two programs for both Cena and Cody Rhodes. This has been very, very good. I am more excited about this match now than I have been before Cena and Logan Paul was even announced. I didn't know what to expect when this match was going to be announced. I didn't even really think we were going to get a Logan Paul versus John Cena match. But I'm glad that we are. This is going to push John Cena to his limits. He's going to work with somebody that is overtly more athletic than him, 20 times more athletic than him. So he's going to have to work a quicker style. He's going to have to work a different pace. It's going to be interesting to see how John Cena adjusts to someone like Logan Paul. It's going to be funny to see Logan Paul actually slow things down as well and adjust to working with somebody who has a very middle-of-the-road speed in John Cena. John Cena is that fucking Honda Civic that's driving 60 miles an hour in the right lane. Meanwhile, I'm in the dark horse, and I'm doing fucking 90 down the Jersey Turnpike. He can't do that. He can't be that dark horse in France. Maybe he can. Maybe we could see John Cena step up his game a little bit more than we've seen. He had a fucking great match with Cody Rhodes, but he didn't overtly work a fucking quick pace. He worked a style that allowed him to go 35 minutes. It's going to be very interesting to see this match take place. It's going to be very interesting to dissect what they do on Sunday. Heat Magnet Logan Paul over babyface and John Cena. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Again, give Logan Paul his flowers. He is fucking great at what he does. The reason why this is coming off so well is because Logan is a vilified pro wrestler that the fans look down upon, and it generates the genuine heat. Can't hate on that, bro. Can't hate on it. Now, I'm taking John Cena to win on Sunday. I think John Cena does win. I don't believe we have 9 dates after tonight. Sunday will be 8 dates remaining, unless they add 1 or 2 down the road. 8 dates left after Sunday for John Cena in WWE in 2025. As far as where he goes from here, obviously we got Brock Lesnar coming up at WrestlePalooza. Lesnar is going to be on 2 SmackDowns in September. I believe it's going to be that September 12th and September 19th episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And then obviously WrestlePalooza is on that Saturday, September 20th. Lesnar's next. Don't know where we go after that. Will he be in Perth? Will he be at Survivor Series? Who will be John Cena's last opponent? Could be either Gunther or Drew McIntyre. Those are the 2 names that I have at the top of my personal list. Roman Reigns could be a dark horse pick there. We don't know. I would rather it be Gunther, though. But John Cena and Logan Paul is shaping up to be a banger. Looking forward to it on Sunday night at Clash in Paris. Street Profits and B-Fab, they were interviewed backstage. They cut a promo on Melo and Miz and said they're on a little bit of a hot streak, but they want the smoke and they want their tag team titles back. All of a sudden, we see Bo Dallas emerge from the shadows back behind where this promo was taking place. He's not in the Uncle Howdy mask. He's not in the Uncle Howdy Wyatt 6 getup. He's human. Bo Dallas. I don't know how many times I've asked for this, but I'm glad we are starting to get it. We got it actually twice on this show tonight. All I'm going to say is we need more of this Bo Dallas on TV. We need this Bo Dallas cutting promos. We need this Bo Dallas speaking like a human being and furthering whatever story the Wyatt Six are going to be in. He sounds and looks so much like Bray. We need to get that presentation on television. Separate the man from the character. I want to know who these people are, and I want to invest in who they are away from their characters. They don't need to be the Wyatt Six every time we see them. Maybe the others. I don't give a shit about the others, but Bo Dallas needs to be Bo Dallas. In times like this, he needs to be Bo Dallas. In times like this, it's all right to humanize him. More of this, please. This was supposed to be a tag team title match. That's what we were told. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus the Secret Hervis for the tag team titles. This tag team title match never took place. Charlotte comes out, followed by Alexa Bliss, but gets attacked from behind by Chelsea Green and Alba Fire, who take out Charlotte's bad knee, the one that she had reconstructive surgery on. So after this aisleway attack, we go into a commercial break. We get no tag team title match, and we get one-on-one Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green. I guess they're saving that for possibly next week in Chicago. This wasn't bad. I just don't care. There's really nothing here. There's really nothing here as far as story. Just two teams battling it out because there is nobody else for Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to even defend the titles against. So in walk the Secret Hervis. They are the only team available in that women's division. Why we have women's tag team championships? I've been asking this question for the last 4 years. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Chelsea's in control, slams Alexa's head into the turnbuckles repeatedly. Alexa then throws Chelsea outside. Alexa hits a big somersault. Chelsea, she attacks from behind in the ring now. Attempts a pin. Chelsea stays in control after some ground shots. Throws Alexa out of the ring again, giving Alba Fire another chance to sneak attack behind the referee's back. Chelsea bounces Alexa's face off the announce table on the outside. Bliss turns things around here and throws Chelsea into the ringside barrier. I have repeatedly said that I am not really a fan of this Chelsea Green Secret Hervis shtick anymore. What started out as something comical and fun has now turned into something very repetitive. I'm not as big of a fan of Chelsea Green as other people may be, or the gimmick or the group. Chelsea's offense reminds me that of The Miz. It is very weak. It is not believable. Some bumps she takes are awful, like this one into the barricade. Awful. No impact behind anything she does. Zero. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Both women make it back in the ring. Bliss hits some shoulder tackles, shotgun drop kick, snap neck takedown. Chelsea escapes a Sister Abigail attempt. Catches another dropkick in a tree of woe. Bliss goes up top. Alba Fire tries to intervene. She gets kicked down for her troubles. This allowed Green to get to her knees, or get her knees up, when Alexa came off the top rope for a twisted Bliss. So they trade reversals for a couple of seconds here. Bliss manages to get a roll-up for a flash pinfall win over Chelsea Green. There you go. Piper wasn't there, huh? Why wasn't Piper there? Is she hurt? Where was she? I don't know where they were. Maybe that's why the match didn't take place, because Piper Niven wasn't there for whatever reason. Alexa wins here. Post-match, Alba Fire attacks Bliss. As she leaves the ring, Charlotte limps out from the back after the pre-match attack. Alba Fire manages to take out Flair. It ends with both Alexa and Charlotte laying on their backs with Chelsea and Alba Fire holding up the tag team titles. Does anybody truly believe that the Secret Hervis are going to win the tag team championships? I know I don't. Another one of their problems. Another one of pro wrestling's biggest problems this year. Everything is overly predictable and not a good way. Not in a good way. I don't want to watch predictable pro wrestling, bro. It doesn't excite me. I don't know why WWE opted to just rapidly pair Charlotte and Alexa Bliss together. Give them the tag team titles, call it a day. I would have had such a better developing story between them trying to actually befriend each other with two massive egos just kind of canceling each other out. I don't know why they've opted to just give them the titles and then do nothing with them as far as story goes. Meanwhile, you could have built them up to win the tag team championships on Sunday after some story playing out on television where they don't trust each other, Charlotte doesn't want it, Charlotte eventually owns up to it and befriends Alexa because they have an overwhelming problem here with the Secret Hervis, and they figured that they would be better together instead of individually, and they opt to say, you know what, let's do this fucking thing. Build up a handshake or a hug or an exchanging of dolls of sorts. Does anybody find any of this interesting? What exactly is the underlying story here? Oh my God, the Secret Hervis have taken out Charlotte and attacked her injured knee. It's not story. There's not a single ounce of story in any of this. So why would I care? There's not a single ounce of unpredictability in this. Why am I going to care? Boring. Alexa wins, and then they get their asses handed to them at the end of the match. Sami Zayn. He was interviewed backstage before his match with Solo Sikoa, which was the main event of tonight's show. Says he feels confident like when he main evented WrestleMania and won the Intercontinental Championship against Gunther. He starts speaking French to the crowd, and everybody's super excited about Sami Zayn tonight in the main event for the United States Championship. They showed some social media posts of Brandy Rhodes announcing her birth, or the birth, of her second daughter with Cody. I didn't even know that Brandy was pregnant. But they must have kept that one very secretive, huh? Aleister Black. He cuts this creepy promo on Damian Priest. Damian Priest is feuding with Aleister Black over R-Truth. R-Truth is Damian Priest's friend. Damian Priest has poked his nose in Aleister Black's business. And that's the setup for this match, which I thought was taking place tonight. We did not get that tonight. So Damian Priest is then interviewed after Aleister Black and said he will teach Aleister a lesson and he will teach him what it is to feel pain. He says he will be smiling and will be enjoying all the pain he will bring to Aleister Black. Great. Let's get these guys in a program and get these guys on the show and get these guys in the ring. Michin. She went one-on-one with Kiana James, making her SmackDown in-ring debut. Kiana James. Who? Oh, the one that carries the purse. She's with Julia. Oh, that one. Okay. Fantastic. Chad, if you got up to go to the bathroom during this match, if you got up to go make yourself a beverage, whether it was an alcoholic beverage, a non-alcoholic beverage, a tea, a coffee, pour yourself some seltzer or some other cold beverage from the refrigerator. If you got up and you were away from your TV for about 15 seconds, you missed this entire match. In the most simplest way for me to put it, Kiana James got Giovanni Vinci'd here tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, there were a couple of scragglers on Twitter that I had to get rid of immediately because when you immediately show up in my comment section or in my thread on Twitter and you actively throw the "he complains about everything, JD. You do nothing but complain, JD." Goodbye. Benched, and you will sit there for the remainder of your days. Kiana James just got back to television after a year and a half away from television. Why she's paired with Julia, I don't know. I don't know. It's almost as if WWE is compensating for their laziness. I was going to say something a little bit more harsh. Their laziness because they don't know how to book Julia. It's almost as if they don't really trust Julia to sell a pro wrestling match on her own. That they paired her with the attractive and English-speaking Kiana James. How am I supposed to take anybody seriously if she loses in 15 seconds? Now, to you, it might not mean anything. She's the henchwoman for Julia. She's Julia's accountant or assistant, secretary, whatever the fuck you want to call her. So whoever's challenging Julia for the United States Championship in a very, very stereotypical pro wrestling trope has to go through the bodyguard or the insurance policy first before they get to the big boss, the final boss. Meanwhile, the babyface here, Michin, playing the babyface here, I could probably count on one hand how many people legitimately give a fuck about Michin. She is as ice cold as the other side of the pillow, bro. There's not a single person in this chat that asks, "Oh man, I can't wait to watch Michin wrestle on Friday Night SmackDown." The woman has been so irrelevant that any sort of excitement about seeing Michin is 100% fabricated and forced. Kiana James should be someone who comes to SmackDown that is built up because the division is fucking awful. It is absolutely deplorable to what the division has become. She could become somebody. Instead, you opt to put her with Julia, who doesn't need anybody. You opt to put her with Julia and then have her lose in 15 fucking seconds. Less than that. 9 seconds. 6 seconds. Vinci'd. And I love Vinci. But we all know what happened to Vinci. We don't know anything that happened to Vinci behind the scenes. We don't know if he politicked. We don't know if he did something he shouldn't have done. She got Giovanni Vinci'd. He had not one but 2 matches with Apollo Crews. They both ended the same way. One ended in 3 seconds. The other ended in 90 seconds. They both resulted in a loss. Where's Giovanni Vinci now, chat? Is he still on Friday Night SmackDown? Is he on NXT television? Where is he? Is he even a professional wrestler anymore? I haven't seen a fucking thing about Giovanni Vinci. Not a fucking word. Maybe he's off on his Italian island somewhere in the villa, drinking a nice cup of espresso with a nice Italian broad around his fucking arm. We don't know. This was awful. And WWE should be embarrassed. Nobody should be losing in 9 seconds. Nobody. Julia could have done this all on her own. She didn't need Kiana James. Post-match, Julia and James attack because the match ended in 6 seconds when Kiana James looked to attack Michin with her loaded purse, whatever the fuck was in it, rolled her up to Michin after ducking and wins in 6 seconds. Julia and James attacked, And Julia hits her with a knee to the face, throws her into the barricade. Julia then drives Michin's face into the ring steps, and that was the end of the segment. Can someone explain to me why we needed Kiana James for this segment and why Julia couldn't do this on her own? Has there been a bigger failure in recent memory from NXT? A bigger failure than Julia? What the fuck are we doing, bro? That Women's United States title is right now borderline as irrelevant as the Women's Tag Team Championships. Fact. You're driving it so further down week by week that at this point, with so many L's, not only do I not care to see it, WWE can do nothing to resuscitate its deadness. Drew McIntyre is seen walking backstage, coming out to the ring to address Randy Orton. We saw a video recap of the attack by Randy Orton from last week. He asked a production guy if Randy is still hiding behind a table. Let's ask Michael Cole about that medical update on Cody Rhodes, which he still does not have. Yes, that medical update with Cody Rhodes, where he is in Australia filming Street Fighter as Guile. Apparently, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will have a scene or will be crossing paths. They will be on set the same day coming up. I'm assuming that's after Roman Reigns gets done with Clash in Paris and gets his Shula Fala back from Bronson Reed. Drew disses Cody Rhodes and calls him a politician, a liar, and nobody's friend. He says he was sure that Cody was on the phone with Orton all the time during his recovery from back surgery, but that's not what I call a friendship. It was Cody gathering intel. He reminded Orton that Cody just knew how and where to attack Orton's back at the King of the Ring finals, while Orton hesitated to punt him in the head because Cody was his friend. Orton came out. I forgot to mention, people were singing his song just like they did last year in Lyon, France. Sang their hearts out with Randy Orton's theme song. Excellent, excellent moment. Orton says he did not drop McIntyre last week for Cody Rhodes. He dropped McIntyre because, plain and simply put, he's a fucking prick. Drew then hits the Glasgow kiss, measured Orton for a Claymore. Orton ducked, McIntyre missed. Orton hit a draping DDT, set up for an RKO, but a bunch of backstage personnel ran out, put a stop to this or not post-match attack, this attack here from Drew McIntyre on Randy Orton. Orton, he dropped them all. And he dropped Hurricane, Shane Helms. Now, they didn't mention him by name. They didn't mention Shane Helms, which is the dude's name. They mentioned Hurricane. As if we're back in the fucking, the era of Hurricane Helms. He dropped Hurricane Helms, Shane Helms with an RKO, went to punt McIntyre in the head, but he recovered enough to roll out of the ring. And that promptly ended the segment. Now, I would say this is happening at WrestlePalooza, but not, because Drew McIntyre is getting Cody Rhodes at WrestlePalooza. That's the match for WrestlePalooza. McIntyre versus Cody for the WWE title. Lesnar versus Cena at WrestlePalooza. Where Orton fits into that, what he does on the card, I don't know. We could be shaping this up for a SmackDown match on Friday. One of those days that Lesnar is going to appear on the show, giving it a much bigger feel than SmackDown has felt in months. We'll see what happens there, but clearly they're setting up for a one-on-one match here between McIntyre and Randy Orton. Melo don't Miz. Carmelo and The Miz were having a conversation backstage and talked about having to be on the same page tonight to win the #1 contendership for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Again, Bo Dallas comes on in and says some cryptic shit to both Melo and The Miz. He mentioned something about there being perceptions and perceptions not being a reality. And he asked Melo, could he handle it? I don't know what Bo Dallas is talking about, but Melo Don't Miz versus the Wyatts should have been the tag team title match at Clash in Paris on Sunday. Nick Aldis, he's complaining about Randy Orton's behavior and him attacking security. Might as well just fine him another $50,000. You don't give a fuck. Orton is nice enough to produce, Orton is nice enough to get some whiskey for Nick Aldis. He pulled out a bottle of whiskey, one of the mini bottles of whiskey for Nick Aldis, which he just said he happened to have on him. Now, I don't know what that says about Randy Orton. Maybe Randy Orton likes to indulge in the good stuff after a segment. R-Truth pops up and asked if Aldis was drinking this whiskey, to which he replies, after the day he has had, he would. So we're openly promoting Randy Orton and Nick Aldis being whiskey fans. I like it. What the fuck are Randy Orton and Nick Aldis drinking, chat? Number one contendership here. Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford against Melo Don't Miz. This was probably the best thing on the entire show, in my opinion. I think Miz and Melo are the best thing on Friday Night SmackDown for the last 3 weeks. I know, it's crazy that I'm even saying that. Ford and Miz started out. Miz quickly got dropped right on his face. Some double team here by the Profits. Melo is in. Miz assists with some outside interference. Melo hits nothing but net on Angelo Dawkins, which gets him some chance from the crowd in French. Miz is back in, doing his terrible offense. The Miz has the worst fucking offense in all of pro wrestling. Awful. These fucking it kicks. These kicks that he's seemingly still stealing from Bryan Danielson. The yes kicks, the it kicks, the Miz kicks, whatever the fuck he calls them. Awful. He gets rolled up by Dawkins for a 2 count. Miz and Melo start doing some double team. They wear Dawkins down. Quick tags in and out. Melo blind tags back in, which confused the Miz. But he's okay with it because they're in control. Dawkins finally gets a hot tag into Montez. Big crossbody on the Miz, followed by a big back suplex. Standing moonsault for a 2 count. Miz hits a beautiful-looking DDT, spiked Montez right on top of his head. And then he goes for a skull-crushing finale, but Melo blind tags back in. Ford hits a big frog splash. This actually worked out pretty well for them. Ford hits a frog splash on the Miz, but the Miz is not the legal man. So Melo is the legal man. He goes up top. He hits a big frog splash of his own on Montez Ford. Melo then goes from a springboard move, or for a springboard move, but he and Ford crash in midair, taking each other out. So Miz is back on the apron. He wants the tag. The Wyatt Six all of a sudden jump out from behind the commentary desk. This distracted Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. They didn't want anything to do with this circus happening outside. The Wyatts distracted the Miz from getting a tag from Melo. So Dawkins threw him off the apron. He was distracted at his back turn. Dawkins, smart move, I got to give it to them, shoved Miz off the apron because he was distracted by the Wyatts. Profits then hit their tag team finish called The Revelation on Melo, and they pin Melo 1, 2, 3. They are now the new number one contenders for the tag team titles and will face the Wyatt Six at Clash in Paris. This was a good TV match. Melo Don't Miz have been having some really good matches. Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, the Profits. SmackDown Tag Team Division is really fucking good, bro. It's really good. And one of the reasons why I've enjoyed it outside of its simplicity and some storytelling is the fact that Melo Don't Miz has been doing the one thing that seemingly just goes lost with a pro wrestling promoter. Tony Khan. Tony Khan. Yeah. Yeah, he's clueless. They've won matches. They've won matches. You win matches, you get title shots. Concept is very simple, chat. Very simple. Good match. The biggest positive here is that we're getting a sixth match on the PLE. I asked for a sixth match, and we got it. I just would have had Melo and The Miz versus the Wyatts instead of the Street Profits. I just find the Street Profits against the Wyatts fucking boring. Now, hopefully, Paris is going to make it exciting. The last time the Wyatts wrestled, outside the ladder match at SummerSlam, it was a fucking snooze fest. Hopefully, this is different on Sunday. I would have absolutely had Melo and Miz win, and then we play out whatever happens there. Miz gets jealous, or Miz fucks things up, and we get some sort of tension between the two. That's where I thought it was going. And the Wyatts would expose The Miz for using Melo. We're not going there. We're going the Profits. Hopefully it ends up being entertaining. Tiffany Stratton is in the back, and she is confronted by Jade Cargill, who tells her that Nick Aldis just confirmed that she is now the number one contender for the WWE Women's Championship. How the fuck did we get Jade Cargill being the number one contender for the Women's Championship when she hasn't even won a fucking match since SummerSlam? Has she even wrestled a one-on-one match since SummerSlam? The last time she lost a one-on-one match, she lost to Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. Now, she did wrestle last week by teaming up with Tiffany Stratton. And she got the pin over Nia Jax, did Jade. Are we really going to... What was the match? It was Becky, right? It was Becky Lynch and Nia Jax versus Jade and Tiffany Stratton. Are we really going off of Jade Cargill pinning Nia Jax in a tag team match, which granted her a number one contender to Tiffany Stratton's WWE Women's Championship? Is that what we're doing here? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to say this again and again and again, just so that everybody in the chat understands the words that are coming out of my mouth. Jade Cargill should not be the women's champion. She is not ready. She doesn't belong in that position, and nobody wants to see her there outside of the simps on social media. Nobody should be taking the belt off of Tiffany Stratton at this point. Nobody. Jade is much better off as a heel. Have her lose, have her fucking snap, and have her go heel. She's not a likable babyface. She is just awful, not believable, and nobody gives a fuck about anything she has to say. Maybe, just maybe, if she was a heel, she would be better presented. Now, Tiffany said she's undefeated this year. Well, I hope so. You're the fucking women's champion. Jade says, I know a thing or two about being undefeated. Sure you do. They threw everybody and anybody at you. I mean, they picked up the cashier at 7-Eleven to throw in the ring at you in AEW. Undefeated. Give me a break. Jade should be on Evolve, says MK Pandy. Yeah. Yeah. You know, listen, I'm a fan. Nikita Lyons is more deserving of a main roster run than Jade Cargill is. Nikita Lyons is further along in the ring than Jade Cargill is. And Nikita gets shit on for the shit that she's been doing. At least she's trying. At least she puts in effort, does Nikita. Don't kill the messenger. I said what I said. Don't know how we got there, but hopefully Bianca shows face and we get something there where the title remains on Tiffany Stratton. United States Championship. Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn. This was a fun main event. Fun made only by the crowd. The crowd was big into the French-Canadian Sami Zayn. Solo's in control early. He wears down Sami with some big strikes. Sami fights back, gets taken down again. Sami fights back again. He's quickly overturned. Solo hits a running hip attack. Tolatonga! He's at ringside. With the rest of the MFTs. Sami finally throws Solo out of the ring. Hits his somersault plancha. Tonga Loa and JC Jeff Cobb Mateo pull Sami out by the legs as he's getting back into the ring behind the referee's back and attack him outside. Meanwhile, Solo is in the ring waiting for their deed to be done, so they throw Sami back in the ring. He hits a spinning Solo. He thought he had it won, and Solo only gets a 2 count. Jimmy Uso runs out to even the odds, followed by Jacob Fatu. They clean house on the MFTs, and they brawl out of the arena. Sami is ready to hit the haluva kick, but Solo rolls out of the way and rolls to the outside. Sami goes out there. Solo takes advantage. He smashes Sami's face into the announce table, and he hits a spinning Solo. Follows up with a second spinning Solo. So Solo gets back in the ring. Sami makes it back into the ring. Barely, and I mean barely, at the 10 count. They end up on the top turnbuckle. They're battling for position. Sami hits a sunset bomb off the top rope for a 2 count. Solo then hits a Samoan drop. Climbs back up top. Hits the big Uso splash for a 2 count. Sami is up. He evades a Samoan spike. He rolls Solo up for a 2. He then quickly transitions into an exploder suplex into the corner. He follows that up with a haluva kick, but it wasn't a full-on flush haluva kick. He hits him with another haluva kick, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. It was a great spot here as well, where he got a blue thunder bomb on Solo Sikoa, and it was a very close 3 count. I still wish he would use that as his finish. Haluva kick is a setup into the blue thunder bomb. Man, that blue thunder bomb is fucking a thing of beauty, man. Anyway, he wins with 2 haluva kicks. He wins the United States Championship. Fireworks go off. SmackDown ends with Sami Zayn holding up the United States Championship. He is now 1 title away from becoming a Grand Slam champion in WWE. Again, pretty average episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Nothing really too crazy to discuss. These shows have boring written all over them. But like I said, the saving grace for this show was the Lyon, France crowd. Honestly. If WWE was in fucking Biloxi, Mississippi tonight, this show would have been fucking garbage. The fact that they were in Lyon, France, and these people are fucking absolutely thirsty for any type of American pro wrestling, especially WWE, they're going to show up, show out, and show you exactly why they are some of the best crowds in all of the world. And Lyon, France did not disappoint for a second year in a row. But Friday Night SmackDown, man, they need some serious fucking help. I don't know what it is with the lazy, lackadaisical effort that this show puts forth every week. It's almost as if you don't watch SmackDown, you miss nothing. You could easily catch up on clips on YouTube or on social media. You don't even need to watch the whole show. Like, I have to watch the whole show because it's my job to break this shit down. But man, if you are someone who does not want to digest the WWE product for 2 hours on Friday and you simply want to catch up with fucking 10-minute clips or 10-minute YouTube video that goes over everything that you missed on Friday Night SmackDown, that's all you need, bro. When you are welcoming your audience to rather watch a 10-minute YouTube video that breaks down the highlights of SmackDown instead of watching the 2 hours of the show on Friday night, you know that you're putting in zero effort. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Appreciate you joining me here on this Friday night. We're going to wrap things up here. Get the hell out of here. I'm visiting my parents in Delaware tomorrow, so I got quite a long drive in the morning. And the Mustang's got a flat. Believe that? Don't know why, don't know how. The passenger side tire on the backside is flat. Went out to take the trash, saw that it was flat. How I'm going to get it to the fucking Ford dealership that's 10 minutes away, I don't know. Another $500 in fucking brand new tire. I must have run over something, man. I don't know. Anyway. Thank you guys for joining me here on this Friday night. Appreciate you. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go and check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. Let me tell you something, man. I do not want you guys to be boring in the bedroom like the writers are in the boardroom writing Friday Night SmackDown. Not a good look, bro. Not a good look. You know, if there was a show that I would want you guys to emulate in the bedroom, it's NXT TakeOver. Good old black and gold takeover, man. That's exactly the type of excitement you need to take to the bedroom. The only way you could achieve that is by taking a Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. All you guys got to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. You're going to sign up online at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their online medical providers. And once you are approved, you are going to receive your prescription within days. No questions asked. It's all done online. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. No waiting in the doctor's office. It's awful. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. No awkward conversations. All done online. Made and prepared in the US of A and shipped discreetly to you, right to your front door. All you got to do is sign up at BlueChew.com. Use code JD at checkout. And you'll be on your way to getting that extra confidence where it matters most, in the bedroom. Once again, that's BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you guys have to do is pay the $5 in shipping and handling, and you get your first month for free. Seeing that the super chats are non-existent tonight, man. I'll be out of here in 3 minutes. 3 minutos. JDOTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah, thank you, Michael, with the $2 super chat. Tommy Brannigan with 43 months. Hey, JD and OTS family, hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend. You too, brother. Tony Brown with a $5 super chat. Okay, JD, question. Who are the top 5 female wrestlers with the prettiest eyes, not ass, for this time only, because I'm nasty? It's a very difficult question, Tony Brown. I'm going to go Stephanie Vicaire, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, I don't know. That's it. Really? Am I going based off eyes or looks? Round out the top 5 with Jada Parker and Sol Ruka. Mariah May's up there too. Michelle with a $2 super chat. Sami is now the United States champion, but now what does he do? It's a good question, Michelle. I have no idea what he does. I guess we will find that out, huh? Does anybody care is the better question, because SmackDown at 2 hours with this roster? I don't know, man. Jay Everington with a $5 super chat. More likely to be running WWE in 2030. Triple H, Vince, Dwayne, or the Saudi royal family? Could be Dwayne, bro. I'm going to go Dwayne or the Saudi royal family working with Vince McMahon. Zero Kaiba with 40 months. People actually still supporting Vince is crazy to me. It's like, bro, imagine if Janelle Grant was your daughter. Bro, People are fucking sick and demented, man. I blocked so many people on my video today, man. It is laughable. Openly supporting a fucking rapist and someone who's covered murders. It's unbelievable. The shit he did with Ashley Massaro should be enough for people to fucking disown him. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Tillamook cookies and cream ice cream, #1. Brother, Tillamook is fucking awesome. There was a new flavor I found at the supermarket over here, man. It was apple crisp. Oh, my goodness, man. There was apple chunks and oatmeal chunks in it. Oof. There's one thing I love, man. It is oatmeal raisin cookies or oatmeal crunch, granola. Oh, I love it, man. Captain Solo, thank you, brother. Cornell Bryan with a $1.99. But JD, I thought you said The Miz in the Big 25. Yeah, well, The Miz sucks, but Melo, don't Miz, is working. Base Beerus with a $2 super chat. Maharaja Jackson. You know, I will take the Maharaja any day of the week, bro. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. If you were a betting man, do you see Maya Lesnar joining WWE following in her dad's footsteps? Yes, I do. That's a no-brainer right there. Though it is very scary to look at her, man, because it's almost like you're watching Brock Lesnar with a wig on. And his the genes in that family clearly come from him and not Sable. True Crime Unleashed with 2 months. I love your channel. Well, I love that comment. Thank you, brother, for 2 months. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Kiana James got nattied tonight. No. We're renaming it, bro. Kiana James got Vinci'd tonight. Lewis, 7 months. All the best for you, JD. Best for business. Thank you, brother. Maya is not Sable's daughter. Did he have Maya with another woman? Well, I didn't know that. Oh, I thought Maya was a child that they had together. Well, that explains a lot. There's no fucking way that if you're married to Sable that was the product after 9 months. No way. Oh my God. Hula said, what did he say? Brock fucked himself and had Maya. Bro, listen. I don't see any lies detected there, bro. I genuinely didn't know that. Brock Lesnar just produced her asexually like a xenomorph. Oh, man. True Crime Unleashed with a $5 super chat. WWE higher-ups are strongly considering putting the women's world title on Raquel Rodriguez to repay her for her hard work the last 8 months. No. I do not care to see that. That's got transitional champion written all over it. Hannah with a $4.99. Holy shit, Bandito versus Hechicero is match of the year worthy. You got to check it out, JD. Hannah, respectfully, no. Don't care. Any show that has Paul Walter Hauser wrestling for over 25 minutes in some indie mud show hardcore garbage is not getting my viewing. Sorry. Ali with a $2 super chat. The new Mortal Kombat movie is now going to be May 2026. Does anybody know why? Why is that? Sidro with a 2. By Hollow Knight, Silk Song, September 4th. Took 8 years. Bro, I never even played the first Hollow Knight. It does look good, though. I like a good side scroller. And Joey Taylor with a $4 super chat. Mina from AEW is sexy as hell. Mina is gorgeous. She's no Stephanie, though. Mina is beautiful. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. Now, I'm sorry for the lack of a stream tonight, but I did my best, man. Quality they give us. There's only so much I could do with it, bro. What do you want me to do with it? In and out. Got you out of here before midnight, man. Look at that. Thank you guys for a great stream. Go check out all the content on the channel. There is plenty of content to get lost in. Make sure you guys go check out everything on the homepage. Everything you need is right there. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night Titans, and AEW Dynamite post shows right here on Off the Script. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY 206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys go get your free sample. All you have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. And please hit that thumbs up on the way out. Would appreciate that. Leave a comment down below as well. Helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Next time you see me, we'll be live on Sunday night. Clash in Paris right here for the official post show on Off the Script. Until then, guys, have a great Friday night. Enjoy your Labor Day weekends. I'll see you back Sunday for Clash in Paris right here live on YouTube. We'll see you guys later.